That's interesting to see the pig eat that sedge. They do in the spring when it's tender. I meant to simply film an update on the salamander, or the tadpoles or polywogs. Gradually, some of the ditches are losing them because periodically they go dry. I can't keep them all in the perfect kind of water, but I've kept a lot of them that way. Yes, look at her. She's eating away at that Pennsylvania sedge. That's good to see. While I'm updating, there's a different pig working away on that Pennsylvania sedge. While I'm updating, I thought I'd show you what this looks like. Now, all that lovely lush green is not grass, it's sedge. Well, it's a whole mixture of plants, really. And what I'm doing now is, you see, I've opened hatches. If you look closely, you can see what I mean. To drop the water down through this area, which is not so green. And one or two ditches down close to the pigs have actually gone dry on occasion. But I've got a very wet area back in there, which I can't work it too well because the vegetation's high. But I've got water back in there that I really should bring here. Now the brown, muddy looking place, that's basically because that's where I feed the pigs to get them to come across. Tall tussock sedge, of course, here. And up here, this has not been irrigated. This is pig pasture, but there's old Zanjas there from maybe 50 years ago, 40 years ago. But I haven't had water in them for just about that long. I might this year, or at least next. I should not shy away from showing you this nasty looking area. Now the brown, the reddish brown, that as I've explained before, is natural, and it's from iron bacteria. But the fact that it is so swampy looking, I think has to do with the lack of oxygen in it. This is all water, or moisture from water that's seeping from the clear water of the Trench Royal, the Eastern Canal. And I think I'm going to start to work on this. It's because of a scar that was made, maybe 60 years ago by a logging road that came up through here. Let me see if I can explain some stuff about what I'm doing. That took all of 5 minutes because, you know, the ground is just so soft. And it should not, ideally it would not look like that, probably never at any point in the year. But because of the history, it does. What I've done, I'm not simply trying to drain it, no. I'm going across it with a Zanja that will be dead level once I have a clear reading on what I've got. And it's very easy to work that ground, soft mud. And I also started one down here at a lower level. It also will be dead level. And what I'll do is, at a certain point, I'll put a drop structure in and drop the water from the upper one to the lower one, and I'll make as many as I need. Now here would be probably another, or maybe here would be another good place to start one. Down there would be where the water's coming out. Matter of fact, I may start that right now. But you see, when the vegetation gets high, the roots also get strong. And you can't simply easily do this ditching with a dull hoe like mine. In another 15 minutes or a half hour, those brand new Zanjas would have enough water in them so that I could estimate level. But I'll be here probably every single day. I'll come by here daily. Let's head up. I mean, I could start one here as well, but I don't think I will. Well, maybe just start a little bit. And see how clear the water is? If it's moving even just a little bit, that's all it takes. And I'm going to have more to say about that, because I was watching a video last night about methane and aquatic life. I should probably contact those people. Down there's where I was. There's that real clear water with fairly young tadpoles in it. And this is water that's running by. I will fix this eventually, but there hasn't been a hurry. I'll move that fence uphill a little bit and then come here with a shovel, not a hoe, and actually make this breast here so it doesn't leak. But for now, I just wanted to show you this is water that is going by that I have available to use, and I will. Certainly I will as the weather gets drier. One of the problems with doing this is there's not much material to block it with. If I come across a rock, like I did here, I'll carry it here so that I can put it down in the biggest holes. There, I think you can see some of the younger, new generation, newly hatched tadpoles. Although I'm told I don't hold the camera still enough to be able to see them, so I'm trying to be careful. But it's right, oh, I've muddied this water now with my hoe. But you see, bleeding out of the hillside here is also water that's had a lot of time in contact with that iron ore that's buried under there. But this I am also, I'll go across that with a brand new Zanja, and I'll gather that up as well. This area at present can make quite an interesting study in brand new mini Zanjas, Zanjas in Spanish. This is leakage coming from up above that I've just been letting it go right down to the eastern canal, the Trench Royal. But I came across and I decided, why don't I just tap into it? Because there was a, I don't want to call it swamp, I don't know what to call it, mucky place there and up there, and I've connected several new Zanjas together there to let that water drop to this one. So, and like I said, I'll be back here every day probably, and we'll see how this develops. Now everything here is so small scale that you can really see what I do. You see, I could pick up that leakage, that bleeding, and that, and I'll probably pick that up all in one single Zanja. And then here is that outlet from what's going on up in there beyond the fence. Since it's approaching the end of May, things are much quieter up here along Grandpa Jim Biss. And you know, I haven't even really needed to come up here much because the water's getting all the way to the aqueduct on the saddle. But I decided to come up here today. Sure enough, there's a stick. It's interrupting the water a little. And there's spillage. But as I say, now the water is getting there. So I'll clean that out. I just thought I'd show you. Oh, there's that yellow bucket. If you can see way up there. I don't know if I can zoom. I always shake anyway. And I don't know if you can see it. Give you some idea where I am. All right, bye for now.